So it's a very, very important night, not only for Texas boxing, not only for Golden Boy boxing, not only for the fighters, but for their legacy. And we strongly feel that when you put Mexico versus Ireland, you know it's going to be a war. You know it's going to be a war, and just the way Eric Morales in his epic battle against Wayne McCullough, I mean, who can forget that? That was an epic battle because you had a Mexican versus an Irishman. For some strange reason, it just creates a war inside the ring. So we are thrilled. We are thrilled that we can put this together for you guys here in Texas. Like I said, thank you very much to Beltran, my partner, and Sanford Promotions, at Murphy's Boxing. Thank you very much. Tickets are still on sale. We did price them correctly. They're starting at $25, all the way up to $200 ringside. So you want to get your tickets while they last. They are moving fast. We are proud to have a partner who will be streaming this fight live all over the world. The fighting destination in boxing is DAZN, where you can watch the best fights, the biggest stars like Canelo, like Joshua, who just fought against Andy Ruiz. You can watch Jaime Munguia fight here versus O'Sullivan only on DAZN. And the great thing about DAZN is that you don't have to pay the pay-per-view price tag. That's the wonderful part about DAZN, is that for a fraction of the cost, you can watch more than 100 fights a year on DAZN. I also want to thank our sponsor, Hennessy. Hennessy never stopped, never settled, for their continued support. They have been a partner of ours for many years. So thank you very much for that. And on that note, I want to call up to a podium a special friend who has been my partner for so many years. He is a fighter who is already inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, which will take place this year. I congratulate you on that great achievement. Let me call up to the podium my partner, Bernard Hopkins, to say a few words. Bernard.
Thanks, Oscar. Hey, you know, this is a great place for boxing. Everybody know that because of the history, Oscar, myself. I'm excited not only for the main event, but also for the co-main event. There are two women who representing boxing, which has been known for years, decades, as a man's sport. And we all agree they have changed. So I'm excited not only by the main event, but also the co-main event, the unification. The co-main event wants to be the undisputed. I know a little bit about that history of being undisputed. It's very beautiful, ladies, for anybody that been in that situation. All the fighters to the left, to the right, this is your opportunity to start off 2020 the best way of the top of the year in January. So make it a good one. Make people also want to see you again, because this is where it starts. So be your best and protect yourself at all times. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bernard. At this moment, I would also like to call up to the podium he's the manager here at the Alamo Dome, where they've staged some of the biggest fights in the history of the sport. For instance, Julio Cesar Chavez versus Pernell Whitaker, You've had Canelo Alvarez versus Austin No Doubt Trout. I remember myself fighting here against David Kamau, which was a terrific experience for myself as a fighter. So we strongly feel that by being back here in San Antonio, we strongly feel that we had to come to the best venue for boxing. So let me introduce to you the general manager of the Alamo Dome, Steven Zito, to say a few words. Steven.
Thank you all for being here. What a great way to start 2020. All these incredible fighters, and Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy. We couldn't be happier. We've been waiting for this day for a long time, and hope for this to be the beginning of many more. I wish all the fighters all the best. We're honored to have you all here. And Oscar, thank you again for being here.
Thank you very much, Steven. Saturday night will feature an impressive undercard with many contenders, with many prospects, and some of them are joining us here today, opening the night, and I want to acknowledge every single one. So you can take a look at, for yourself, who will be fighting here, and keep in mind they will be putting all their heart and soul for you guys, for the fans. Opening up the night will be James Wilkins, who's 8-1 and with 6 knockouts. James Wilkins. Hector Valdez, who's 11-0. Hector Valdez, 11-0 with 7 knockouts. He hails out of Dallas, Texas. He'll be fighting in an 8-rounder at 120-pound division. We also have Jorge Rincon, who has a record of 9-0 and 6 knockouts. He's from Carlton, Texas, and he'll be fighting in the super lightweight division. We also have Travel Maison, 16-0, 12 knockouts. There he is, from Austin, Texas. And he'll be fighting for the vacant NABF Super Welterweight Championship against tough Mexican contender Fernando Castañeda. And guys, this will be one of those fights that you want to get here early, because both guys bring the heat, let me tell you. Also, I'm really excited to introduce to you a light heavyweight standout. He's a prospect from Duncanville, Texas. His name is Tristan Calcruth, right? Calcruth. 3-0, 2 knockouts, and he'll be fighting in a 4-round clash in the light heavyweight division. We're super excited. We are thrilled that Tristan is part of the Golden Boy team. We have big hype hopes for him. We feel that with his amateur pedigree, with his amateur pedigree, we feel that Tristan can make all of Texas and eventually the world very proud every time he steps inside the ring. So welcome to the team, and we're looking forward to watching you fight on Saturday night. I also want to call up to the podium a fighter who is a native of San Antonio. He'll be making his debut at super flyweight against Jose Burgos in a 10-round fight. He has a record of 15-1 with 7 knockouts. And every time he steps in the ring, I mean, this kid gives it his all. And so we're super excited to have him on the card. especially the fact that he's a native of San Antonio. Let me call up Joshua Franco. Joshua, to say a few words.
Thank you for everybody for coming out. I just want to thank Golden Boy for giving me the opportunity to put on a show in front of all my fans, all my supporters, all my family. And you don't want to miss it. I'm really hungry. I'm feeling strong. And it's going to be an exciting fight for as long as it lasts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Also, I would love to call up to the podium another native of San Antonio, Texas. He's been making his mark. He's been climbing the ladder. He took that next step to become not only a contender but a fighter who can this year capture a world title. He has a record of 18-0 and 5 knockouts. He will be challenging his toughest fight, his toughest challenger to date, in former world title challenger Juan Carlos Burgos. With a record of 18-0, 5 knockouts, let me introduce to you from San Antonio, Texas, Hector Tanajara. Hector.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I remember being in the same building, wanting to fight here since I was little, since I started boxing, and the day has finally come. I would like to thank Golden Boy, the Zone, for the opportunity to fight in my hometown. I'm ready to put on a show. Thank you, Juan Carlos Burgos, for the opportunity. I know he's a tough opponent. I'm just ready to put on for San Antonio. Excited to be in front of my friends and family. And, it's going to be a show on Saturday. Gracias a todos por el apoyo, por estar aquí, y puro sananto.
Thank you, Hector, and we're looking forward to a spectacular night on Saturday night. Next up, I will be introducing to you the co-main event of the evening. And at Golden Boy, we're huge advocates of women's boxing. We strongly feel that women's boxing is not only on the rise, but it's here to stay. And most of the time, or a lot of times, the fights are better than the men's fights. They train hard, they work hard, they give it their all, and we're very proud of that. So I would like to introduce to you the CEO and president and owner of Cancun Boxing, who will make a special introduction, my good friend, Pepe Gomez. Pepe.
Hola, buenas tardes a todos.
Hello, good afternoon to all.
Feliz 2020.
Happy 2020.
Gracias, Golden Boy.
Thank you to Golden Boy.
Gracias, Oscar de la Hoya.
Thank you to Oscar de la Hoya.
Sanfer Promotions.
Zanfer Promotions.
And the Zone.
And the Zone.
En Cancún Boxing, no venimos a jugar al boxeo.
In Cancun Boxing, we did not come to play boxing.
En Cancún Boxing venimos a buscar los títulos.
In Cancun Boxing, we've come to get the world titles.
Los títulos del Consejo Mundial de Boxeo que hoy ostenta la campeona Franchón.
The titles from the World Boxing Council, who right now have the champion in Franchon.
Y llevárnoslos para Cancún. Muchas gracias.
And take it back to Cancun. Thank you very much.
Franchon, the heavy-hitting diva, will look to settle unfinished business as she defends her WBC and WBO super middleweight title against the WBC heavyweight world champion Alejandra La Tigra Jimenez. And I'm really, really excited about this fight because this fight was actually supposed to take place early next year, and it got postponed for some reasons, but we're here now and we're excited and we can't wait. You know, we are a pioneer of women's boxing, which I'm very proud of, and we strongly feel that this fight here, as a co-main event, will bring some excitement to not only the fans here in the stadium, but to the fans worldwide who's watching on DAZN. Let me introduce to you first, she's a native of Mexico City, who debuted as a professional in 2014. She's captured the WBC heavyweight world title and has remained undefeated. I would like to introduce to you Alejandra La Tigre Jimenez.
Muy buenas tardes a todos ustedes.
Good afternoon to all of you.
No saben lo que para mí significa hoy estar aquí.
You don't know what it means to be here today.
No solo por el boxeo, sino para demostrarle a todos y a todas que todo es posible si lo quieres y trabajas por ello.
Not just in boxing, but to show everyone that you can achieve anything if you work hard for it.
Me decían que no podía ser boxeadora porque había muy pocas rivales de peso completo. Sin embargo, me decidí a incursionar en el profesionalismo.
They told me that I couldn't be a boxer because there were few opponents for me in the heavyweight division. However, I decided to initiate my professional career.
A mi quinta pelea me coroné campeona mundial, la primera mexicana campeona mundial de peso completo que tuvo el Consejo Mundial de Boxeo.
In my fifth fight, I became a world champion by becoming the first Mexican female fighter to win a heavy world title, the first of the World Boxing Council.
Hoy, con 66 kilos menos, tengo la oportunidad, gracias a Golden Boy, gracias a Pepe Gómez de Cancún Boxing, mi promotor, que siempre me ha apoyado, de pelear por el título super medio.
Today, 66 kilos less. Thank you to Golden Boy, thank you to Cancun and Pepe Gomez, who has always supported me. I'm going to fight for a world title at super middleweight.
Con una rival que yo buscaba, con una rival que yo quería. Busqué esta división porque sabía que aquí estaban las peleadoras fuertes, las mejores. Y el sábado me voy a enfrentar a la número 1, a la campeona. Pero a la número 1 voy a ser yo.
And with an opponent that I looked for, an opponent that I wanted, I looked to go to this division because it has the strongest, the best fighter. And this Saturday, I'm going to fight the number 1 person in division. But after that, I will be number 1. Thank you.
Así que quiero agradecer de nuevo a Oscar, a todo el equipo de Golden Boy, a DAZN, a este espectacular lugar que nos verá a todos mis compañeros y a mí el sábado con excelentes batallas. De nuevo a mi promotor, a mi equipo, que más que mi equipo es mi familia, Samuel Uribe, mi entrenador, Gustavo Melo, mi nutriólogo, y a los demás que se quedaron en mi tierra, con la promesa de que México se va con esos títulos, pero que México los va a pelear aquí una y otra vez. Muchas gracias a todos y recuerden, siempre todo es posible si lo quieres y trabajas por ello. Gracias a todos.
And I want to say thanks again to everyone, to Oscar, Golden Boy, DAZN, in this venue, this spectacular place where everyone's going to see me and my colleagues with Saturday's fights, my team, my family, my promoter, Pepe Gomez, Sammy Uribe, my trainer, Gustavo Melo, my nutritionist. And I want to tell everyone that everything is possible if you really worked hard for it. And this Saturday, Mexico is going to take back a world champion, and we'll always be able to come back here and fight for those world titles on behalf of Mexico. Thank you.
Thank you very much, gracias. And she has a record of 12-0 with 9 knockouts. Next up to the podium is a woman who has many talents, including singing, songwriting, designing, and boxing. Since joining Golden Boy Promotions in 2019, she's been unstoppable. Defeating Kayla Williams by 5th round knockout in Atlantic City, She had a terrific fight against Marisela La Diva Cornejo, who she won by unanimous decision, winning or unifying the WBC and WBO world titles. And now she's looking to make history. She's looking to settle unfinished business. And we are very pleased, like I said, to be putting this fight together. I strongly feel that that if you haven't watched women's boxing, then this is the perfect fight to start watching. It is my pleasure to introduce to you, with a record of 6-1 and 2 knockouts, please welcome Franchon, the heavy-hitting diva, Cruz Dezern.
Thank you guys for coming out. Excuse my French, but you ain't taking shit from me. You ain't taking shit from me. I'm just blessed to be in this position. I feel like Cinderella. Everybody's, you know, Golden Boy gave me the opportunity to fight for a world title in 2018, where I was victorious. And as you can see, you know, my story keeps unraveling in front of you guys. Boxing isn't about weight loss, and shout out to my opponent. That's an amazing feat to lose that much amount of weight to compete for her goals. But unfortunately, that road is going to stop here with me, because I've had to fight my whole life. Before I got signed with Golden Boy, I was sleeping in a casino just trying to get a meeting to get signed with Golden Boy. And as soon as they gave me the green light, I mashed the gas. There's no brakes in sight. After my opponent tried to bully me at the WBC Cancun convention by blowing me a kiss and being disrespectful to my team, it's definitely some unfinished business that needs to be settled. I don't need my team to fight for me. I roll with thoroughbreds. You could put my coach, you could put my training partner, you could put my promoters in the ring. We all thoroughbreds over here, Golden Boy, Headbangers, and Team The Heavy Hitting Diva. I just want to make sure that when I do step in the ring, I represent not only myself and my team, I represent women's boxing as it continues to grow. I'm very blessed to be a pioneer, one of the new age pioneers of this sport, and being able to have us showcased on networks like The Zone. And you know, I have a great opening plan for you guys, because I'm an entertainer. I know you see the shades, I know you see the glam, but when you take all that away, you see a warrior. You see a woman that wakes up at 6 in the morning, don't sleep till 11 to get the job done. I worked 3 jobs, competed on elite levels, took care of a sick mom for 12 years to go for my dream. So this is nothing but a pit stop to the road to undisputed. And like I said, when I'm finished with this fight, the zone's gonna be discerned. Thank you. Period.
Thank you, Franchon. We, you know, she fought on, was it on the undercard of Munguia in LA? And you should have seen the crowd just went berserk, because she, every single round, every single minute, unstoppable. It was incredible. It was amazing. So this Saturday night against La Tigresa, it will be an incredible fight. I guarantee it. I mean, both champions. La Tigre, no la Tigresa, La Tigre, mi español un poquito. This Saturday night will be an amazing fight. So we're extremely proud. Somebody just handed me a note. I gotta say thank you for Tecate. Tecate, gracias. So that takes us to our main event. Our main event couldn't have been in a better town, in a better place. We are excited that the biggest star, one of the biggest stars in boxing, will come to San Antonio and showcase his talents against a fighter who is not going home without that world title. I'm sure Spike has trained smarter and harder as ever before. I know that for a fact. This is the opportunity of a lifetime.
For the last 12 years, from the time he, turned professional, I've been managing him and training him right through his whole career. And along the way, we've got some big fights against guys who are world champion now, currently world champions. But each fight that came along didn't really come at the right time. The one fight we've been looking at for the last 12 months, and we knew it could be made, is Jaime Munguia, because they're both with Golden Boy, and it's a no-brainer. So Spike literally moved to junior middleweight to try and get this fight. Along the way, while we're looking at Jamie's fights, a friend of mine, a friend of Spike's, former sparring partner of Spike's, Dennis Hogan, who boxed Jamie. And he pushed Jamie, he pushed him. It was a close fight, and I believe if the fight was anywhere else in the world, the decision could have been differently. However, no disrespect to Jaime Munguia, I think he's a great fighter. He's Mexican. Mexicans, are great fighters, but what makes him more dangerous is that he's a hungry, great fighter. However, he's been a world champion. He's had his world title fights for a couple of years, or a couple of defenses. He knows what it's like to be a world champion. Spike hasn't had that world title belt. It's the holy grail. It's something that he's been training his whole life for. Spike is a hungry fighter. He spends probably 5 days a week for the last 12 years away from his family. He's a really, really hungry fighter. He's a hard-hitting fighter. Watching Jamie fight, he's a young guy. He makes mistakes, as young fighters do along the way. And we're going to capitalise on that, because Spike O'Sullivan, hits hard in any middleweight, junior middleweight out there. And when the opportunities arise, he will land them shots. And, we will find out then, how great a fighter Jamie is. He could prove us all wrong, he could prove me wrong. But I actually believe it's our destiny, and I believe it's Spike's destiny to win Saturday night. We know we're not going to come here and get a decision. We know it, we're not fools. 12 rounds is a long time to be in there. You will make mistakes, and when you do make mistakes, Spike O'Sullivan will be there to capitalise. So, once again, thank you to everybody. I wish both fighters good health. Jaime Munguia is a really, really nice guy. The very first time we met him, he's a hard guy to hate, and fighters like to hate their opponents. But he's such a hard guy to hate because he's a real gentleman. He's a great champion, he's a great ambassador for boxing. However, it's not personal. On the night, Spike O'Sullivan's coming here to take his O. His O is going to go. And a big thank you all.
All right, thank you very much, Packy. Now it is my pleasure to introduce to you a fighter who has faced, he's faced fighters who nobody wants to face. I'll give an example, like Billy Joe Saunders. Nobody wants to fight him, but Spike O'Sullivan did. He's a fighter who believes in himself. He's a fighter who works hard. He's a fighter who believes that he is in this position for a reason. And that reason is because he deserves it. So let me introduce to you, with a record of 30-3, 21 knockouts, Gary, the best dressed fighter in boxing today, O'Sullivan.
Thank you, Oscar. Good evening, everybody at Alamo Dome Stadium. It's fantastic to be back here again. I'd like to thank Golden Boy Promotions, Murphy's Boxing, Stanford Boxing, Team Munguia, and everybody for turning up here today. It's great to be here. Steve, manager. I look forward to coming here on Saturday night. You know, I'm under no illusion. Jaime Munguia, he's a great fighter, but he should be under no illusion that I've prepared really, really hard for this fight. I've made a lot of sacrifices. I recently bought my first home for my family, and I was looking forward for months to having spending my Christmas with my family at my new home. But I made a great deal of sacrifices, and I remained in training camp for all the holidays. I had Christmas Day with my family, and I went back to training camp again. And I came back for New Year's Eve with the family again, and I've been training real hard, putting everything I've got into training. And I'll be coming to win this fight on Saturday night. You know, it's nothing personal. I really like Jaime, a good guy. You know, I met him back in Vegas in September. Very pleasant guy. I wish him good health and good luck in his life. But on Saturday night, I'm coming for war, and I'm coming to win. I look forward to putting on a great show. Thank you all.
Thank you, Spike. And you know, as an experienced fighter myself, having to be inside the ring with many types of characters and fighters and you know, and you name it, when you put two fighters who are nice to each other, who have nothing but pleasant things to say about each other, you know it's going to be a war. I mean, you know it's going to be a war. So it is my pleasure, first off, to acknowledge once again Sanfer, my good friend Beltran, who couldn't be here with us today, but we have Juan Carlos, who will be speaking on behalf, and if he can come up to the podium and say a few words. Juan Carlos.
Happy New Year to everybody. Well, we're very excited about this fight. We would like to thank, obviously, Oscar and Eric for their attentions throughout the years for us. TV Azteca, Tecate, the sponsors, and everybody that's involved, the Alamo Dome, and of course, everybody that is here for the press conference. Like I said, we're very excited about this fight. I mean, the styles of Gary and Sullivan and Jaime just makes us for a very fun fight. I mean, their styles are made for each other. I mean, when we're looking at the fights of Gary, we were looking at all of his fights, and he hasn't had a boring fight. He's just a fun fight to watch. He's always prepared. We know his focus. Like Oscar says, every time that there's no trash talk between the fighters, you know they're prepared, you know they're focused, and we know that he's a very professional fighter. So we are happy. We are very proud also of Jaime. We were excited about him since he joined Sanford for his pro debut. Now we know he graduated from the 154 pounders with honors. Now he's embarking in one of the best, if not the best, divisions in boxing, as Bernard can attest to that. So we hope to have the success that Bernard had, you know, in this weight class. And we see Jaime, you know, progressing every time. You know, his last fight was the first fight with Eric Morales as his trainer. And he made a lot of adjustments, you know, defensive adjustments. But now, almost a year with Eric Morales, this is his second fight. We are confident that he's gonna bring, you know, a lot of defensive skills, where he's gonna be showing a lot of boxing skills come Saturday night. So he's prepared. We're happy. And for all the people that cannot be there, I hope that you can subscribe at DAZN and watch it. You don't want to miss this fight. And So good luck and happy to see you there on Saturday. Thank you. A todos, a la gente, les quiero dar las gracias. Feliz año antes que nada. Gracias al Oscar y a Eric y a toda la gente de Golden Boy por todas sus atenciones durante los años. Estamos muy emocionados de esta pelea. Los estilos de Sullivan y el estilo de Jaime hacen de que va a ser una pelea espectacular. Sabemos que Sullivan es un peleador profesional, un peleador que ha estado en los niveles más altos del boxeo. Y Jaime, pues, estuvo en la 154, se graduó con honores para todos nosotros. Ha sido un peleador ejemplar, un peleador limpio, un peleador que ha dado el ejemplo de sus entrenamientos, siempre ha cumplido con todo y siempre trae el 100% al ring. La verdad, ahorita pues va a embarcar como otro año en otra división, en la división de la 160, en la división de los medianos, una división muy importante en el boxeo. Y pues aquí va a ser una marca, va a empezar el sábado, pero va a ser una marca histórica en este peso. Estamos muy orgullosos de Jaime y pues los vemos el sábado. Quiero agradecer a la gente de Tecate, a la gente de TV Azteca por siempre apoyarnos y pues nos vemos el sábado todos. Gracias.
Thank you very much, Juan. At this moment, it is my pleasure to introduce to you an ex-fighter, an ex-Hall of Famer, an ex-world champion that we've had the thrill to watch over the years. He's given us some of the best battles in boxing with the likes of Marc Antonio Barrera, with the likes of Manny Pacquiao and Daniel Zaragoza. He's a native of Tijuana, Mexico, where Jaime Munguia fights out of. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Hall of Famer, Eric Morales. Eric Morales.
Muy buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Estoy convencido que Jaime Munguia en 160 libras será un gran peleador.
I am convinced that Jaime Munguia at 160 pounds will be a great fighter.
Él ha llegado a esta pelea con un gran entrenamiento, mayor velocidad, mayor fuerza.
He has come to this fight after a great training with a lot of strength and a lot of speed.
Y sin lugar a dudas va a ser una pelea muy buena, pero estoy convencido que Jaime Munguia tiene la fuerza y la energía para pelear de gran nivel y lo que a la gente le agrada, el boxeo de estilo mexicano, la fuerza, el corazón.
And no doubt it will be a good fight, and I'm convinced that Jaime has the energy and the strength to fight at the highest levels in a way that will, in a style that is pleasing to the fans, because he has the strength and the heart.
Él ha crecido mucho como boxeador y no dudo que será una gran noche. Yo los invito a que no se la pierdan y espero ver aquí a todos los mexicanos. Gracias.
He's grown a lot as a boxer. It's going to be a big night, and I want to invite everyone. It's going to be a great night of boxing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eddie. Gracias. Muchas gracias. Now, to introduce to you, a fighter like Gary said, he's a nice fighter. He's a fighter who everybody can get along with. He has great character. He's not arrogant. People love him. People love being around him. He's very humble. Humility comes a long way in this sport. And he's known how to use that to his advantage, because that's who he is. People in Mexico can approach him wherever he walks the streets. They love him. It's incredible. He's become a superstar. But that's not what he is inside the ring. Jaime Munguia has shown over and over that he is a beast, and he wants to take your head off, and he wants to fight for what's his. But that's why we love Jaime Munguia. That's why we love watching him. But me personally, I love his humility. You know, from when he started till now, and I believe until he finishes his career, people will talk about Jaime Munguia, not because of all the accomplishments that he has, not because of the world titles, no, because he was always true to his people. He was always true and humble. Humility goes a long ways. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you, hailing out of Tijuana, Mexico, and he's only 23 years old. He's captured the WBO junior middleweight world title, knocking out Saram Ali, and he is now stepping up to the best division in boxing at 160 pounds. It is my pleasure to introduce to you 34-0 with 27 knockouts, Jaime Munguia.
¿Qué tal? Muchas gracias a todos por acompañarnos. Quiero dar las gracias a Golden Boy, Sanfer, The Zone, a todo mi equipo.
What's up? Thank you to all for joining us. I want to thank Golden Boy, Zanfer, The Zone, my entire team.
Y pues decirles que vengo contento, vengo motivado, ahora en una nueva división, en las 160 libras, peso mediano.
I want to tell you all that I've come happy, I've come motivated, and now in this new division, which is 160 pounds.
Es algo pues nuevo para mí, nuevo para todo mi equipo. Yo creo que es una gran división donde hay grandes peleadores como Gary O'Sullivan.
It's something new for me, for my team. It's a great division with a lot of great fighters such as Gary O'Sullivan.
Y pues estoy emocionado por eso, porque creo que en la 160 tendremos grandes retos, grandes peleas, les brindaremos grandes peleas a todo el público.
And I'm excited for that, because at 160 we will have big challenges, we will have big fights, and we're going to deliver great fights to all the people.
Y pues decirles a todos que tuvimos una gran preparación, nos preparamos a conciencia al 100% para venir a brindarles una gran pelea, un gran espectáculo, y decirles a todos que este sábado vamos a salir con la victoria.
And I want to tell all that we had a great preparation. We prepped at 100%, keeping in mind that we wanted to give a great fight and give a great show, and I want to tell you all to join us for this fight.
Y pues si Dios nos permite, después de esto iremos a buscar pues algunos títulos en la 160 y dedicárselos a todas las personas que me siguen, a todo México y a todo el mundo. Muchas gracias.
And God willing, after this, we'll look for world titles at 160 pounds for all the people who follow me. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. That concludes the press conference. We'll now pose the fighters for pictures.
Where? That's what I was like. The girl and the girl.